Hey guys, and welcome to the Star Girl channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's just take a moment to assess what we're about to be doing. So the question of the collective reading right now is, how do you truthfully feel about your situation? All right, so we will be using the Good Tarot and the Mystical Shaman Oracle. The Good Tarot for a past, present, and future energy, and then the Mystical Shaman for a medicine wheel reading to get more into detail and specifics. So I would like to light a candle just to set the intention to be open, to call all spirit guides, any spiritual messages, or anything that the universe has to tell us. All right. All right, let's get started, loves. Oh, that's beautiful. You know what? I will include the bottom deck of this. We'll just put that right here. All right, my fault. All right. So first we have Fortune's Wheel. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. And then we have Love. All right. Next we have 10 of Water. Okay. All right, so first off, we have Fortune's Wheel with the energy number 1, right? So Fortune's Wheel talks about open doors, opportunities. Things are definitely moving, right? And moving in the aspects of where we can't see. I can definitely feel that centrally there's this standstill energy, but around you, it feels like there's movement. There's analytics and mechanicals going back in the scenes, right? And the Fortune's Wheel is definitely a very powerful tarot card because this talks about opportunity, right? This talks about a 50-50 chance on either spectrum to either achieve something that you have longed for, or basically just a big moment in your life is happening, right? Almost, I don't want to say like a midlife crisis, because, you know, I don't want you to feel like just because you are questioning your life that it's bad or that it's a crisis, because it's not. Um, with the Love right here, we also have the energy number 6. And 6 deals with abundance, it deals with family, it deals with love, right? And with the Love card right here, definitely getting some Leo energy, right? So some of you all might be Leos. Um, we also have this triangle here on one of the pillars, and that definitely talks about positivity, right? It's pointing towards the heavens. Um, so I'm definitely feeling that for some of you, you are actually going through some relationships um, that are either that feel like they're breaking down, because there needs to be movement for something new to come in, right? So it can either be I'm sensing a breakdown, or time to really just come in the middle and decide, okay, is this gonna work? Is this gonna are we gonna continue to love each other in these ways? As these lovers are kind of facing, they're still holding each other, but they're facing in different directions. So I'm definitely sensing in like August or November, there it'll be time for judgment on your relationship and how you treat each other and stuff, because sometimes even if there's love there, that doesn't mean that the relationship is right or meant for you. And that was just only for a couple of people. If that does not resonate with you, you know, just don't even think about it. So we have 10 of water, and that's really great for futuristic energy, because this talks about peace. This talks about you know, gaining that serenity that you're searching for. I'm definitely feeling the calm after a storm type of energy with the 10 of water. And it also has Buddha there, and I'm not sure if you could also see, but there is a triangle on their belly, and that is pointing positive towards the heavens. All right, and now let's go forth with your mystical shaman oracles. So we will start with the south, right? So think of a compass, and we're going to start with the south on things that you need to let go of, and just things that are not serving you from your past. All right. So we have thunder. Okay. So we have thunder there, and that energy is with 11, right? And so thunder, right? Some people are scared of storms and some people aren't, right? Some people find it really relaxing. But with this thunder card, there is, like I said, a bunch of movement that you feel is out of control. With these herd of bison, right? It feels like this just like stampede of hard energy, right? And it's hard energy because the universe isn't trying to hurt you, right? It's actually, the suffering isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. And of course, you know, take that with a grain of salt as well. I'm not trying to invalidate anyone's feelings or situations. What it's saying is you are purposely, your body is purposely purging out the things that do no longer serve you. And so if you've been having any health issues or any sickness, it's most likely because of either past generational ancestral trauma that your body is purging out, right? Or just energy that needs to be purged out, whether you like it or not, you know? So with this red and orange here, Spirit is telling me that there are problems with your root chakra, right? And the root chakra is all about who you are and where you came from, and like having that strong sense of stability, right? And then we have the colors of the sacral chakra, which deals with creativity and essence, and, you know, even with the gold there, you could also reference the sacral chakra, which deals with will and confidence, right? But the most significant color here is blue, which represents the throat chakra, which talks about speaking our truth, right? So this is definitely a shakeup about who you are and who you are becoming, right? And needing to shed the past and like rewrite your story, right? So if you feel like you were wronged or you didn't get the things that you needed, and you feel like those are the reasons why you're in this situation and it's out of your control, you're wrong. It's because you're looking for outer confirmation, outer truths that are just not true. This is about going within yourself, right? The root chakra going in, sacral chakra, right? And so then let's shuffle for the West, which deals about relationships and things that you may need to let go, right? Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so this one came out. All right, Time Master. And this energy is the 3 energy, and this deals with Ascended Master energy, right? The Time Master is someone who has seen a lot, right? Who's someone who's experienced in time all the things that you have learned through experience, right? You use in how to make decisions and you choose your reactions, right? Like most everybody. But what I think you're starting to realize is that learned reactions are starting to affect your relationship. With the 8 here by its heart, 8 represents cause and effect, right? And I can definitely tell that, you know, with the Time Master, you're very analytical, right? So I'm definitely sensing that we may have some Capricorns in this reading, especially with the Fortune's Wheel, right? I definitely think grounding is something that that some of you struggle with, and some of you actually have a really good time knowing how to ground yourself. And I think actually many of you are stuck in the physical too much, right? And you need to go inside of your headspace to get this clarity. You need to go inside your heart and your headspace, because the answers do not lie outside of yourself, right? So, oh, that one, oh. Those came out really quickly. We have Beauty Way and the Sacrifice. Okay. So this is good. These all came out upright, right? And so Beauty Way, that's talking about maybe even like seeing the beauty that isn't there, right? So overlooked treasures of things. With 4, this talks about solid foundations. So you need to release or purge any old beliefs or any mistrust, right? With this dragonfly too, and the lotus, the dragonfly energies, very much a traveler, right? Okay. As well as there's definitely insecurity about the way you look. And, you know, you could tell somebody, oh, you were so beautiful, and like, you know, you are blah, 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 blah. And sometimes that just isn't enough, right? When you don't love yourself, you can't have a loving relationship, because you don't know, if you don't know how to love yourself, it's hard for you to, if your partner reacts to something or does something that's familiar to something that has happened, your old reactions that if you have not changed are going to affect that. So like there is possibility, there is a chance for this relationship to work if you go within yourself and find where this insecurity is coming from. So that's for some of you, right? Because in your solid foundations, there is mistrust within yourself. So there's going to be mistrust in the relationship. Now, of course, if it's an abusive relationship, this is not confirmation for you to stay, because, you know, like the lotus, that is a fragile, beautiful flower that needs a lot of tending and growing to, right? And if it's not getting the right things that it needs, then, you know, it'll come back another season. It needs time to go form some other its properties, right? So then we have the sacrifice with 44. So this talks about how even if I talked a lot about relationships, right? But there's a lot of opportunity besides relationship, right? So love also deals with the things that you love to do, right? I feel like you definitely feel like you have so many things that you either want to try or you see other people do, and it's like, wow, all these people have passions, like where's mine? And what you're truly looking for is your essence, right? With this butterfly, this also represents soul retrieval, right? So finding yourself, finding the things that made you happy and the things that you committed to and enjoyed without any apologies. Because when you are in your true self, when you are in your true essence, you're not questioning anything, right? So this soul retrieval basically talks about going back to the past and taking the little essence of ourselves and taking it back, giving your power back to yourself, right, from these situations, and even telling yourself a different story of the past or the things that had happened, and that's okay. So if, for example, like if you went through something, really hard in meditation, or even just like imagining your adult self, your healed self, your higher self, going to that time and place, right? Which you can do. There's definitely clairvoyance in here that can go back to any past and clearly see the visuals, feel it, see everything. And this is a skill given to you by spirit that you should embrace, and it's beautiful. You shouldn't be scared of it because it's a healing ability. It's a healing property and talent to have, because what spirit is asking you to do is to make this sacrifice. And what the sacrifice is your heart, right? The only worthy thing to give the universe is your heart. And with your heart, that's trust, that's compassion. And when you see compassion and spirit and other people, you see it all around you and you feel safe, right? And safety is definitely something that some of you are struggling with. So with this moon at the bottom of the deck, this is 9, right? So you are completing a cycle, right? Things are falling apart to start something new, right? Because the things that need to replace the things that are leaving you, there needs to be a space for the good, right? And the moon talks all about truth. And with this moon, it looks like it's from this angle, it's going to cover more, right? So this is just the very start to this new you, right? This new rebirth. And you are at the beginning stages where it is an ending and a beginning at the same time. So learning yourself, learning your truths, and going within yourself is what will get you this 10 of water. And even under that, it's the Emperor for solid foundations. So coming out on top, coming out with your knowledge and with this sense of compassion and calmness to be able to observe and make good decisions, right? Good decisions is definitely coming out for that. And then on the reverse side, we have 2 of air, which talks about you're almost there. Do not give up. Do not think that, you're not going to get there, because look, you're close. As you can see, they're close to the cliff. And I'm so sorry for the exhaustion that you are experiencing. I can definitely tell you're experiencing a lot of Raja energy. And that energy is all about action and passion, right? And you're on the search for that. The lantern represents your search for knowledge. Okay. And then lastly, we will do some advice for anything that you have heard in this reading that you need to take away, or just any nervousness or anything from anything that you heard, anything that you can take. We'll ask Spirit. This is also super, super, super random, but there is a black lab that is presenting to me right now. So the last bit of my video cut off, but I wasn't planning on doing a face reveal first video, but here we are. But I promised whoever's chocolate lab, I don't want to say chocolate, but black lab, look back to me, that I would tell you that they're doing good and that their body does not ache anymore, and they're great, they're vibing. And then I wanted to do these last two cards that are my power thought cards for any advice, just the last bit, something good to hear after anything that you've heard, if anything has triggered you or anything like that. So we have this card right here. I listen with love to my body's messages, right? My body is always working toward optimum health. My body wants to be whole and healthy. I cooperate and become healthy, whole, and complete. So the message earlier with this was I was getting that someone specifically, this is specific to somebody, your work that is affecting your ear or eardrums that are giving you, that is just like not good for your body or your ears, and that it's time to stop exchanging your body for whatever you are exchanging it for. Usually it is for money, right? And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I can't just like quit my job. Like, I have responsibilities to people, places, and things. But you're not going to be truly happy if you don't have a sense of responsibility to yourself, right? I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell you in those aspects of how to get yourself out of that situation. But I can always guarantee you that when you follow your dreams, the universe will not just take the rug out from under you. Then we also have, I am willing to forgive. Forgiveness of myself and others releases me from the past. Forgiveness is the answer to almost every problem. Forgiveness is a gift to myself. I forgive and I set myself free. So for those who either had a challenging past or just people have did them really wrong, I'm definitely sensing this this upset that, like, why would you tell me to forgive somebody who did me so wrong that does not deserve forgiving, right? And I feel like we forget that in certain situations, we may blame ourselves for things that weren't preventable at that time. And that you won't be finding forgiveness in someone else's words, right? And that's not, I'm not telling you you have to forgive a certain person. Trust me, I understand what it is like to find your own definition of forgiveness. And this whole reading is about breaking down your belief systems and rebuilding them back up into a better version of you, and a happier version of you. But yeah, those are the last little bits I want to talk to you guys about. Thank you so much for watching my video. There is, of course, more to come. If anyone has any specific questions or specific readings that you guys want me to do, just comment below. Otherwise, I can totally think of them myself. Just keep an eye out for them. Like and subscribe if you felt like any of these resonated for you. As well as I will have my Instagram in my description, where you can either DM me or email me through the link in my bio on my Instagram for a personal reading. I am taking personal readings, and if you do want to tip, I have my Venmo and Cash App in my Instagram highlights. Thank you so much. I see spirit in you. I see the universe in you. And thank you for being present and for existing and just being. So, yeah.